What is up, everybody? This is Nerding Out Sports, and today, talking about some Yankees news. Zack Britton is officially back for the next 2 years. The Yankees exercised his team option for 2021 and 2022. It makes a lot of sense. He's been probably their most consistent arm out of the bullpen since they got him in 2018. They re-signed him last year. His contract was interesting. Had the Yankees declined this option, Britton would then have a player option for 2021. But they made things simple and just extended him, or not extended him, they exercised the option, so he's back for the next 2 years. And this comes with a very interesting bullpen market in free agency. We've already seen Cleveland move on from a guy like Brad Hand, who was very good in 2020, and he's only due $10 million on a team option. In a perfect world, the Yankees would scoop him up as well, and just that finishes out the bullpen, really. You had to replace Tommy Kahnle, and Brad Hand would be a very good player to add to the bullpen. Don't see it happening because even though they did just pick up the option for Britton, they are still trying to shed some salary reportedly. So I don't know how much money they're going to add to the bullpen on top of what they already have with Britton and Chapman. And you can't forget they still are paying Adam Ottavino. Now maybe they try to move Ottavino's contract and then bring in a guy like Brad Hand. That's kind of just a spitball idea. There's really no truth to any rumor in that. I haven't seen anything like that. I doubt the Yankees will try to trade Ottavino or even Aroldis Chapman. I know a lot of fans want to see him gone, but realistically, I just don't see that happening. However, getting Britton back does make a lot of sense, and you know what? I don't think this is too crazy to say maybe he's the closer next year, because we saw how good he was in Baltimore as the closer, and then this year, when Chapman was not pitching at the beginning of the season, Britton saved 8 games. I believe he was perfect in his save opportunities. If he wasn't, he had only one blown save. He was very good, and he looked a lot more comfortable closing out games than he does as a setup man. Now, he looks good in both roles, but he looks better as a closer. So maybe next year they kind of go in a different direction. Maybe Chapman's kind of a setup guy, and then Britton's the closer. Who knows what they do there? Although I do believe it's going to be the same thing. Britton's the 8th inning guy, leading the bridge to Aroldis Chapman. But yeah, overall, great move. You have to bring a guy like Britton back. It makes sense. It's the first guy, aside from LeMahieu, of course, that you need to bring back. And they got step 1 done. Other moves they made, Brett Gardner's option for $10 million was declined. He is the longest tenured Yankee. It made sense, though. A $2.5 million buyout. You're not going to pay a 4th, 5th outfielder $10 million. Although I would expect the Yankees to try to bring him back for a lot less. I don't know how much exactly. Maybe like 5, 6 million, something along those lines. Because as we've seen the last couple of years, he's the only one that seems to stay healthy. So it is very important to have him. And he still does offer you a decent bat. He wasn't great this year offensively, but we've seen him be able to come through in certain situations, and he's still a very good glove, and he runs well. So there is some value there. And I think if you want to take one more run at a world championship, you get him back to another 1-year deal and see what he can give you as, the 4th outfielder, 5th outfielder off the bench. That was going to be his role this year. But of course, the injuries made him play as many games as he did, and I still don't agree with him playing as many games in the playoffs. Even though he hit well in the postseason, I wanted to see Clint Frazier out there, and it does seem like Frazier has taken over that left field role going into 2021. But I do fully expect Gardner to be back this year or next season, just for a lot less than $10 million. And finally, we have everybody's favorite starting pitcher, J. Happ. $17 million option. It did not vest, so it became a team option, and as expected, the Yankees declined it. Before, COVID and everything, he had to pitch a certain amount of innings and earn a certain amount of wins and all that good stuff to make sure the option would vest for next year. Then when the season got shortened, so did those numbers. And the Yankees clearly, even though they will deny it, they clearly were trying to make sure he did not reach those numbers. And J. Happ had something to say about that. And I think this was bound to happen. Once it became a team option, you knew the Yankees were not going to pick it up for $17 million. Even though he wasn't that bad in the regular season after a slow start, he finished with a 3.47 ERA in his 9 starts. It doesn't make sense to pay the guy $17 million. Not when you're trying to shed salary and you can give, if you were going to give $17 million to anybody, you give that to a guy like Tanaka or Paxton to bring them back. A guy that you have, at least with Tanaka, a guy that you have gotten good production out of, consistent production out of, since you've had him in 2014. So, the Gardner and Happ declines make sense because you're not going to pay, like I said, $10 million to a fifth outfielder, and you're not giving $17 million to J. Happ. What the Yankees do with this money remains to be seen, because like I keep saying, they are trying to shed salary. So I'm not expecting a big splash. Hopefully the next step is to bring back LeMahieu and then see what happens from there, and then go into the starting pitching market, whether that be a trade or a free agent signing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the fact that Britton is back? Do you think Gardner will be back? And what are the Yankees going to do with the money that they're saving from J. Happ's option being declined? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you guys next time. Let's go Yankees. Peace out.